everybody, I'm back today with another 1+ year review. Today we're looking at the Ironmaster adjustable dumbbell set, stand, 120-pound add-on kit, and the kettlebell. It's a few options for you if you're looking for dumbbells for your garage gym. So one is obviously a full dumbbell set. That takes up a lot of space. It's a lot of investment in money for a bunch of dumbbells that you're probably not going to use all of them all the time. There might be a handful that you literally never touch. It's a whole lot of real estate investment when a garage gym is typically low on space to begin with. So if you've got the space, awesome. If not, if you're like most of us, that's just not a valid way to go. Two is standard plate sets, so either the spin lock or just like a steel pipe, seeing people pick up from Home Depot or something. Then you've got to own some standard plates instead of just your Olympic. You kind of have the same functionality as these guys. It could be way cheaper, but they're probably, I wouldn't think they're as good. You're going to run into some of the same issues as the next one. Your next option, which is an adjustable dumbbell handle, like an Olympic one. I'm not a fan because they end up being really long, and then it's really hard to bench with because they're going to run into each other. You end up with needing a whole bunch of 10s and 5s, way more than even what I have, because you figure if you want 60 pounds, you need close to 6 10s per handle. That's a lot, considering how most people probably have 4 to 8 10s at most. So that's one thing to consider. And then your other options are Power Block or Ironmaster. So as of today, right now, the difference in price between the two, they're both $518 for their 75 pound kit. Power Block charges shipping, which is $69. Ironmaster does not. That's about the only difference actually in price, which is interesting. Difference in functionality that I've seen a lot of people comment that Power Blocks are supposed to be a bit faster. You cannot drop them. Your hand goes in the middle. It's kind of end up being kind of like a fat bell almost. And then they look a little bit, to me, a bit weird, as opposed to these kind of look like a traditional dumbbell. If that's not a problem for you, it's not a big deal. I mean, if I had a pair, I'd still use them regardless. So it's just something to keep in mind. The Ironmasters, so let's dig into these. So first of all, you can see everything lines up in the stand really nicely. Each handle is 5 pounds. Each of these screw locks is 5 pounds. So if you add on 1, you've got 10. If you add on 2, you've got 15. And then you've got your 2.5 pound plates to get you up to 20, or then you've got your 5s to then do 25, 30, 30, 30, all the way up. So you can do 5 pound increments all the way. So 10, as I think you probably noticed, is a little wonky because then you're lopsided. You've got a 5 here and nothing here to give you 10. It's not a huge deal. If 10 pounds is some magical number for you in dumbbells, then maybe that's a deal breaker. For me, it's not really that big of a deal. So they adjust really quickly. So throw on a plate. So I want to throw that on. You've got the little line here. You've got one of those here. You can see it gives you the instructions. Open means they're lined up. Locked means you turned it. So just put it right in there, twist, and we're done. So it's not going anywhere. I can swing that around and we'd be good to go. So they adjust quick. Like I said, I've heard people say Power Blocks are faster. I don't know how they can be that much faster. I don't know that I need them to be that much faster, unless if you're doing crazy drop sets all the time. These are plenty quick enough to adjust between sets. So if you're ramping up, coming back down, whatever it might be. The plates have held up really well over the last year or so. So you can see some wear and tear, where the plates touch all the time. It's to be expected. These are actually a Craigslist pickup. So there was a guy before me who had these. I think he took pretty good care of them, and then I take good care of my stuff. So you can see the plates hold up well, the handles held up well, screw pins have held up well. There's no real signs of rust or anything like that. The plates aren't chipping, they're not falling apart, nothing like that. Of course, not tossing them on concrete or anything, but look at the kettlebell handle. So this is very okay. It is really difficult to adjust. One, the handle itself is 22 pounds. I think it's 22 and a half. That can be tough for smaller athletes. The other piece is you see how I'm trying to unlock it right now? Since the weight is pushing down on it, you actually have to basically flip it up like this to then unlock it. Yeah, it's not exactly a fun thing to use. Jesus, now I can't even get off. There we go. Yeah, see. And out, you toss on your plates or bring them off. You throw it back in and lock it up. So then you have to drop it back down and you carry it. So you can see, I mean, it's not going anywhere, which is nice since you're going to be swinging and whatever. But they're not easy to adjust. So like if you wanted, say you wanted to use one of these and it was like me and my wife using it, we wanted to switch off between and use different weights, that's not going to happen. You'd have to have two handles. If I was doing regular kettlebell work, this would not be my go-to. I would have an actual kettlebell in the sizes I wanted. Since I do minimal kettlebell work, my wife really uses it for like goblet squats and stuff. This is fine. Again, it just wouldn't be my primary source of kettlebells if I used a kettlebell all the time. The stand, I think this is probably the one place that they have a lot of room to improve. You can see it's really solid, which is great. It stores everything nice and easy, which is perfect. It's small and compact. The issue is really to use it to load your dumbbells. So you can see I've got both of them here next to each other. This is the only way to load them like up to the 120 plus, because if I turn it like this, I don't have enough room forward and backward. So you'd have to have them like this if you're trying to load them up heavy. And I've got about 1/4 of an inch maybe between here, and I'd have to pick them up like this and bring them over. So I mean, if I had this out and about, it might be a little bit easier, but then I'm still kind of leaning over to pick up heavy dumbbells, and it's not great. The power block one that I've seen looks a bit better. It's angled. You set them down, you adjust, everything is right there, and then out. That's about the one thing that they could work on, is making the stand better. Like I said, it's stable, it holds everything. It's kind of funky for actual loading. A lot of times I end up pulling them off, putting them on the ground and loading them up down there, and then putting it on the bench and going to work. Okay, so we talked about the kettlebell, talked about the dumbbells and the handles. One more thing, this has knurling, which is nice. It's really passive. And I could do this all day and not tear up my hands. So it's okay. It's more than enough for a dumbbell. You're not going to be, ripping 500-pound dumbbells off the ground for deadlifts and stuff. So it's probably not a big deal. It does fit fat grips, which is nice. Change up your routine a little bit. I think that's it. So stand could use some improvements. The kettlebell is functional, but not great. Dumbbells themselves, I think for what you get, so the fact that this is 125 pounds of dumbbells from 5 to 120, 125, I forget which one exactly, and it takes up 2 feet, 2 square feet, I think is incredible. If you're trying to do that with anything else other than power blocks, it's not going to happen. So if that's your goal, if you need dumbbells, if you have limited space, if you have the budget to make them work, I think this is a great way to go. If you can test out power blocks and these, I highly recommend you do. That way you can see which ones you like better. Either way, I think you're probably going to be happy. I think they're both going to serve your needs regardless of which one you pick. I like these. I like the look a bit better than the Power Blocks, but that's certainly not top of mind. Top of mind should be functionality, and I think both of them will work just as well. So, thanks guys.